I found there was a lot of real physical energy in this movie. And in one scene, I mean, you actually kind of have to do like a push-up through the roof, and I'm going, I couldn't do that. How was he doing that? Was it real physical for you more than anything else?
No, I don't think it was. I think I've done a lot of films which have a lot more physicality to them. The nature of this character is not physical. He's an intellectual, an academic. He's a person who sits in a little cubbyhole with facts and figures and reports and makes more facts and figures and reports. He finds himself in this situation. At the beginning of the film, he becomes involved in an intrigue. He's being used as a pawn without his knowledge in a complicated political situation, and when he finds out about it, he's moved to action. American troops are left behind in the jungles of Bolivia when the operation, which was illegal to start with, is called off, and finally he's moved by circumstance to go down there and help get him out.
There's integrity and everything else.
Well, there's the character has holds dear the principles and ideals that this country is meant to have been founded on.
But for you, did you enjoy the physical aspect of doing the movie?
Sure, I always do. I mean, it's like being a kid again. Go out and play in the mud for a while.
And hanging off of helicopters and...
Yeah, well, whatever. It's not an experience you're likely to have in a real life.
How much of the real stunts do you get to do?
Well, I don't do stunts. I mean, to make a fine point here, what I do is physical acting. Stuntmen do stunts. I can't, the production can't afford for me to do something that's outside of my capacities. But I think it is important for the audience to have an emotional relationship with the character, and that can be lost when you're shooting the back of a stuntman's head, when you can see the fear, when you can see the anxiety. I want it to be there. I want to be there.
What was the toughest part for you in doing this movie, in making this movie? If you were to say, okay, this was the toughest part, was it physical or emotional? What was the toughest part in the movie?
And I really do think it's true that the toughest part is not doing it. The toughest part is deciding what to do. The toughest part is given the story and the context, how do you best achieve the ambition of each scene? How do you get the point across? How do you get it across without repeating yourself, without boring the audience, with giving it an emotional reality, giving it a dramatic context? So the doing, once you've decided what to do, the doing of it is just fun because you've got it settled. And the hardest part in this particular case was taking this very full and complex novel, in which Ryan doesn't appear to page 300, and weaving him into the story. It was a struggle for all of us, but I'm pleased with the result.
Speaking of Jack Ryan, what is it about Jack that you absolutely love and want to play him again? Because I'm sure we'll see you again.
Well, I hope so. I hope that there's another script of sufficient interest to be able to
But what is it about the character Jack you identify with?
The complexity of his world, the fact that through him we get a glimpse into a world that we are not normally privy to, the world of the high levels of power. Through him we get a glimpse of a world that is forbidden to us. And so that I find interesting.
Any part of Jack Ryan, like you, Harrison Ford?
Well, an actor can only use his own experience and his own reality. You censor out those things that are not appropriate to the character, and you amplify those things that are. So I suppose I'm a bit like Ron, as brave as he is.
A lot of women in my newsroom said when they found out I was interviewing you today, they go, oh my goodness, Harrison Ford. I mean, you get this all the time. I mean, the sex appeal, how sexy, how handsome. I mean, does it ever wear?
Well, I mean, it's very generous and kind of you to express that. Normally, it's not. it's not a part of my reality at all.
You're very modest.
No, not at all. Really not. But thank you.
Great. Thanks a lot.
Good to see you.